Hello and welcome back to the channel, beautiful beings. My name is Mackenzie Kellier, also known as Mother Hummingbird in the internet realms. And I have been pretty absent on my YouTube channel. I used to create content every single week for you guys, but if you've been following me here, you know that I am a mother to a toddler who is almost 3 years old, and I'm going to school full-time. I'm also working multiple jobs. I clean houses, I teach yoga, I bartend, and so there's a lot of moving parts in my life. And over the course of this last spring, I was in a my cat's flickering around her tail. Over the course of this last spring, I was in the heaviest school load that I've ever experienced in my entire life. I was taking chemistry and anatomy at the same time, working toward becoming a nurse. Now, I do not recommend this. It really, took a damper on my mental health, my physical health because of my mental health. I had to scale back my workouts in the gym because I was literally getting panic attacks from working out. My anxiety was basically through the roof. I was super inflamed that whole time and just really not having a good time. So if you're considering going back to school, on one hand, you want to get done as fast as possible, right? Don't we all? My cat's tail. Don't we all? But what I'm learning, it is not worth the cost of your mental health, okay? And so, a couple weeks ago, I was signing up and registering for my summer courses and for my fall courses. And I only have 2 terms left after this summer term, and then I graduate, right? Well, wrong. So I was freaking out because I got waitlisted for microbiology, which was one of the last classes I needed to graduate in the fall. And I got waitlisted and I didn't get in. So that being said, I'm planning on now taking microbiology in the following spring, which pushes out some application dates for some of the nursing programs that I've been wanting to apply to. Now, initially I was freaking out because I was like, oh my God, this is the last class I need. Of course I got waitlisted. Fuck this. I was so frustrated and so mad with myself. But in hindsight now, I'm looking at God's divine plan in my life and God's divine design really in my life. And this isn't a religious channel. Let me just preface what I'm about to say by saying this is not a religious channel. When I speak about God, I'm talking about source energy, right? I don't believe that there is a man in a robe above us in the sky that is dictating our every move. But I do believe in source energy and source consciousness and, divine intervention. I do believe in that, and I do believe in my guides and my angels and things of that sort. And just the natural laws of the universe. Anyway, I won't get too deep on a tangent on that, but anyways, I was waitlisted for this microbiology class, but in hindsight, it is such a blessing because I would have been taking microbiology, physiology, and 2 other really chill little filler classes in the fall, which would have wreaked havoc on my system yet again. But I would have done it. I'm being honest. I would have done it even after this hellbender of a term that I just had in spring that, like I said, really put a damper on my mental health and therefore my physical health and my relationships and everything, right? Mental health tanks, everything else tanks. We know that here, right? We've talked a lot about mental health on this channel. And if you're new here, I have complex PTSD, things like that. So moving on. So I would have signed up for all of those classes if I would have gotten in, but since I got waitlisted, I now can't take microbiology in the fall, and it's going to push out my graduation date to the following spring of 2027. Now, I'm not freaking out about this anymore because I do understand divine intervention. God just saw how much I just went through over this spring term, and I am so proud of myself. I literally passed these classes with flying colors, but again, it was at the cost of my entire mental health and therefore physical health. Anyway, so if you are a mom watching this, or if you are just a person watching this who is excited about maybe the idea of going back to college, slow and steady wins the race. That is what I am learning. I used to be in this rush, which is just a facade, you know, that I was placing on my life. I am no longer in a rush. I will get my degree when I get my degree, and I will finish nursing school when I finish nursing school, all within God's plan of divine timing, and it'll be so beautifully perfect that way. Isn't that just like the beauty of life? Like, as soon as you can surrender, that's when everything works out. If you try to be a little control freak about your life, it ain't gonna work. Like, you can't just be out here trying to play God and be a control freak over every little aspect of your life. You really got to let go and surrender, and what is for you, and what is not will literally fall to the wayside. So this is something that I have been continually learning throughout the course of my life, you know, in a spiral, and revisiting now in college that slow and steady does in fact win the race, and it is better for my nervous system. So I just wanted to give you guys a little update. I got, this summer term left, fall term left, and then that one microbiology class in the spring, and then I freaking graduate, you guys. A year ago this month, right? A year ago to this date, pretty much, is when I started my journey going back to college. It was last summer, June 8th. Today I'm recording this on June 6th, right? So it's been like almost an entire calendar year since I, went on this journey of re-entering the college sphere and believing in myself in this dream of like becoming a nurse, to work holistically and be what the world needs more in a naturopathic sense. So this is me, Mackenzie, here, going through the steps. I am going to be documenting the steps like I promised all throughout the course of this journey of going back to college, and I'm extremely proud of myself. Like I said, it's been a year since I started this journey back. A year ago, I was like questioning myself so much. I was like, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to afford this? La, la, la. And God has literally provided in every single way. Like, my financial aid has been wonderful. All my books have been covered. Everything has worked out so beautifully. And I am just so grateful to God for putting this on my heart to become a nurse. And I'm just happy to be here sharing this experience with you guys. Also, a couple new other updates that have happened this spring. I moved. I got a new house. So we'll be recording by this nice fountain for the foreseeable future. And I also got a new car. I got one of my, my dream car, really. And it's just one of those things, it's like, sometimes in life everything just happens all at once and it feels very overwhelming, but it's literally all of your answered prayers. This is something that I've been playing with a lot in my mind, is like, every aspect of my life that overwhelms me or feels like a lot is everything that I've always prayed for, right? Like my son, he's a toddler right now. He's toddlering, and it is overwhelming at times, but I literally prayed my heart out for a child at one point in my life, and my blessings are here. My prayers are answered. I literally am living and walking my answered prayers, and for that I am eternally grateful and humbled by the journey that it took to get here, truly. If any of you know me personally, like, I've been through some crazy shit in my life, and I think I've gained some perspective and insight from those experiences, which I will share here with you guys. Anyways, I love and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Bless your journey, especially, if you're choosing to go back to school or starting a new adventure in your life, or just need some guidance or some, I don't know. I'm not a life coach at all. I will never call myself a coach. But, I'm here to help if you guys have any questions in the comments about the process of returning back to college as a mother or not. I'm here to help, and I'm here to answer questions, but I would never label myself a life coach or charge you for that information. There's no paywalls here. YouTube's free. How freaking cool is that? Anyways, bless your life. See you in the next one.